Hi, Karina. Wall Street looking pretty grim today. What's bleeding the street?
Well, we're seeing a variety of factors that is weighing on investor sentiment today. The losses are across the board, with the biggest losses, though, for the energy sector. This on lower oil prices. We've seen that U.S. crude futures are down by 3%, trading at just above $101 a barrel. That's a major seesaw trade on the day.
Wanted to start, though, with the reaction to Germany's ban on short selling of government bonds. How are investors reacting to that? Because Wall Street has been so wary about any sort of regulation.
Absolutely. Well, the move by Merkel is seen largely as a political one. She's under tremendous pressure to assuage some of the anger from the German public over the bailout of Greece. Now, overall, investors in the U.S. are not against a ban on naked short selling. In fact, they feel it should be illegal as it is in the United States. The problem is the timing of this announcement and the fact that Germany is paying so much attention to this. They do not feel that it will solve the problem, as they don't see it as a widespread occurrence. So to them, to the investors, it's showing that Germany is really misguided in its tactics on how to deal with the problem. Also, the fact that Germany acted unilaterally, it did not consult with other EU members, is causing concerns. And overall, there is concern about regulation. Germany said it would like to see greater transparency of hedge funds. So Wall Street, of course, does not like any uncertainty when it comes to regulation. The trend that we saw both at Lowe's yesterday and at Home Depot today is that a lot of Americans are buying gardening tools and also energy-efficient appliances thanks to a federal stimulus for greener goods. Excluding items, Home Depot's profit was 45 cents a share. That was 5 cents higher than expectations. It also raised its guidance for 2010 right in line with expectations. Nevertheless, its stock is trading lower today, down by about 1%. Shelley?
Hey, Karina, I'm up for gardening tools. The sad thing is that I don't have a garden in my tiny little flat in Mumbai. Karina, we had a strong start to the session today, but I'm noticing things are cooling off. Perhaps cooling off is an understatement. What else is moving the market?
It's been a very volatile day today. At the beginning, at the open, we saw the market strong. That's because the euro stabilized somewhat. And, of course, we had that positive earnings data coming out. But when it comes to the euro, towards the end of the European markets, when they started to close, the euro dipped a little bit. And, of course, that put pressure on the equities market here in the U.S. U.S. markets managed to end in mainly positive territory, but there were some winners and losers in the session. On the losing side, the financials led by Goldman Sachs, down by more than 2%. This after a government report accused the bank of misleading investors when it comes to mortgage-backed securities, and this helped drag down the sector in general. Take a look now at Research in Motion. The company stock closed lower, this after negative reviews of their tablet, the Playbook. When it comes to Google, they managed to close in positive territory ahead of their earnings, which hit after closing bell, but the stock sold off sharply after those numbers hit the street. They had a win when it comes to revenue, but they lost on the profit side, and there was some concern about some of their costs. On the winning side, though, Zipcar, the company went public, and the stock zoomed higher, up by more than 55%. Report Macmoran, a leader in copper and gold, was up 5%. This after announcing at a Reuters summit that it had enough cash on its balance sheet to consider some acquisitions. Let's take a look at Alcoa, one of the big leaders on the Dow, up 3%. On the negative, though, we had Bank of America down 1.7%. This after the Fed rejected its request to increase its dividend in the second half of this year, after giving the green light to some of its competitors like JP Chase, Citigroup, and Wells Fargo. Now, the Fed has said that it could resubmit its request to increase that dividend. And let's take a look over at some of the technology stocks. Here we've got Adobe down 3.6%. This is on concerns about Japan, the events there, and how it might affect their bottom line. The region accounts for a substantial portion of its business.